There's no rules on Eye Catch Killers. You guys are in charge. I'm
Oh.
going to hand it over here.
Oh, okay.
Stop it.
And-
This should be a completely different podcast if I was in charge. That's a nice name for your next podcast, though, Gary. Nice man, good man, bald man. If you could reform one law, what would it be?
Listening Devices Act, I'd throw that out. That's what I've
Yeah, there we go. No, that's of
gone.
course.
Welcome back to part 2 of the Eye Catch Killers Christmas special. Yes, I'm a bit tired trying to keep up with Elouise and Rob Carlton, but part 2 was a lot of fun. We actually went into the interview room, had a few laughs, talked some serious stuff, and I hope you enjoy and have a Merry Christmas.
All right, friends, welcome back to the second half of the very special Christmas edition of Eye Catch Killers with Gary Jubelin and Elouise Eftos. And I'm the other guest host, Rob Carlton. Just quickly, so it's a Christmas special, which takes me to the first solo show I did. The opening story was a beautiful Christmas story where two cousins ended up having the most intimate of relations. And that's the sneakiest segue I can get to show promotion. So, as I said, I met Elouise earlier this year. She's had the most extraordinary run of her show, Australia's First Attractive Comedian. She's won all sorts of awards. She went over to Edinburgh, had a sold-out run. For those of you that know Edinburgh, you know what an extraordinary feat that is. She got nominated, I believe, the first Australian to be nominated
First Australian woman.
The first Australian woman to be nominated as Best Newcomer. Just
Big.
incredibly...
Yeah, huge. Yeah,
great
I couldn't believe
crits,
it.
great all of those things. So, Elouise, you've got a new show coming next year. Tell us about it.
So I've got a new show, also a few encores of my debut show, which is exciting for anyone that missed it. So I'll be doing the encore of Australia's First Attractive Comedian, the debut in New York City. If we have any listeners in New York, in March.
New York City's a city in America.
City in America, the city that never sleeps, the Big Apple,
I'm
you
not
could call
allowed
it. Oh, you're not allowed there.
Oh, yeah, you're not allowed there.
Sorry, Gary can't see it in New York. You'll have to come to Hobart. So 5th to the 15th, I'll be doing Australia's First Attractive Comedian there. I'm also doing, another encore in Adelaide Fringe. I'll be doing an encore of it, as well as the work in progress of my new show, which I don't know exactly what it's going to be called yet, but I'll be touring my new show. It'll debut in Melbourne at Melbourne Comedy Festival the last 2 weeks, and then I will tour it all around Sydney, Brisbane. I'll also be going to New Zealand if we have any followers in New Zealand. And then also to probably Canberra, I hope, because I do love Canberra. Great audiences there. And Perth, obviously got to go to the hometown. And then I'll be taking it overseas to Edinburgh.
Excellent.
And encoring as well Australia's First Attractive Comedian. So it's going to be an interesting year. I'm going to be doing both shows, sort of tag teaming them at the same time. But yeah, really excited. The new show is about how I've never been in love and I don't know if it's real.
Yeah.
So, and it's a little bit, we're talking to Rob a little bit about it, and it's sort of, the part 2 of my first show, and sort of is playing the persona stopping me from finding love, or is being a strong woman on stage. That's
Inherently unattractive.
Well, yeah, is it? Or is it like,
intimidating?
Yeah, is it intimidating? Yeah. Is it, there's a lot of questions I want to ask. Is it, to do with my own conditioning, having Greek heritage, and the working title currently is Aphrodite.
The Greeks aren't immune to love.
Well, that's the thing. But I'm going, is it these traditional values that we get taught, and trying to be a feminist, and then also, Vogue just said having a boyfriend's embarrassing. So I'm trying to figure out what, as a single woman, what are my options? And so that's sort of what the new show's about. It should get very, very silly. I sing and dance and play different characters in my shows, as well as doing stand up. So it should be very fun. Yeah.
Well, so you're trying to find out why you can't find love.
Well, it's just sort of like,
It's hard to imagine.
You couldn't really do a show like that, Rob, could you?
Oh, mate.
I don't know if either of you could. I'm going, what's... Well, you've obviously found
I have
it.
found love, but I did lose my virginity very late, so there's swings and roundabouts.
Well, no, I was
too.
going to
But
say.
in my defence, I lost my virginity when I was 18, and people go, "Gosh,
I love how you think that's late. I'm going, I was late,
I know,
later than you
no,
then.
Don't say your age.
No, this is what Eye Catch Killers is about, people revealing bits about themselves. Go on, you two.
all I'm saying is that I
It's
was
that Gary's got
when?
this amazing ability to get this
Yeah,
stuff
just
out
let
of
him
us.
talk.
I was saving myself for someone that wanted to do it with me. Now,
saying it like that is killing me. Killing me.
So, for those listeners out there, what I would say about Elouise's show, I'd get in on the ground floor. A young woman, she's got all these different skills. When she says she does characters, she does singing. She's an extraordinary singer, extraordinary characters. It's because it's that character actor work. It's also her shows, to my eye. Certainly Australia's first attractive comedian, was predicated on some really interesting thinking. And then it's one thing for a comedian to have that interesting thinking, but then how to turn it funny. That's where the magic happens. So I'm really interested in seeing where you go with this next show.
Well, this is also what is so scary. It's like this next show is about, I guess, me wanting to be more vulnerable with the audience, which is the first show is like, I'm too hot to do comedy, and the response that I got, and it's quite staunch, and it's sort of me going, this is a feminist, this is an act of, it's like a political statement, me doing this on stage and being a confident woman on stage in Australia, heaven forbid, But then this next show, I guess, is about me wanting to be vulnerable with the audience, and I guess me wanting to be vulnerable in relationships, and is that what that's sort of right. What it's all there's a lot of layers,
and then but with all of that, how do you find the funny?
Well, and how do you make it funny? It's almost quite sad that the amount of the work I'm doing on it now, it's almost quite sad, but I not sad in the way of like, oh my life, but just a bit, there's moments where I'm like, oh, that is a really like sad revelation, or I listen to a lot of music when I write shows, and this theme of this show is very much in the disco, sort of like that sort of disco Studio 54 vibe. A little bit more like I want to talk about, these things like, why are men scared of dancing? And stuff like that, and is dancing a way to find love? Do you know what I mean? Not Rob, but see what I mean? Like that for me.
See, even without music, man.
It's even without music.
For the listener, dancing. For those of you that are just listening, I'm now dancing. Dancing is easier without music because you don't have all those fucking beats
that you got to hit. that I've been trained to hit as well.
I thought you were in rhythm there.
Was. But no, just these like silly questions of even the way the world's going, modern dating, everything. It's a little bit. I think for women, we've been told to be independent and which is great. But at the same time, it's like, is it bad that I still want love from a man? Is that like a bad thing? Is that something that, am I pathetic for wanting that, or are men going to meet me in that space? Or are we going to? Are we splitting apart? Is that the way the world's going?
To take that into humour, and I do the due research. I know it's only 2 hours a day recording time, Rob.
Sorry, I love that was it. I love that hit so hard.
Sometimes I have to read 3 books for one guest.
Yeah, see, that is a lot, actually, Gary. You've got a good point.
That is a lot. I had to watch every TV show you've appeared on. That took me.
You had to watch all my reels of me doing stand-up. You had to watch all of those. That's a lot.
I wanted to make the point. Like, I do the research, and your stuff is funny. Like,
thank you.
I really was watching it, and I thoroughly respect Rob's opinion, because generally he lets me know when someone's performing around here because he needs a place to stay. And that all normally comes with a ticket, and I offer him a bed.
Yes, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful arrangement.
But true. Like, I want to ask you two. I want to ask you two questions. Stand-up comedy, I reckon that would have to be the hardest thing to do. And I'm comfortable talking on stage, but I can take it to heavy stuff. I can entertain people without making them laugh. But if I'm thinking I've got to get up there and make them laugh, I sit there and I feel nervous for you guys. When you're on stage. Do you get nervous before?
Absolutely. There's a part of me that I sort of delve into it in my show that it was a bucket list thing, because I think I love comedy. I think it's an incredible art form. It's like magic when you watch someone do comedy. It's like, how the hell they do it? For me, I was in awe of it. But I was an actor, and I studied film and journalism. I never thought that I would do comedy. I was always, that was the backup, and then I was going to do acting. I trained as a singer and a dancer, and then, but with comedy, with stand-up, it was something that I started emceeing these shows. I was dancing in cabarets, and it was like a bit of a sexy cabaret vibe and a bit of burlesque in it and stuff. And I was the MC, and I realized that I felt this power almost being this woman that was, wearing a sexy dress or like lingerie, and almost being like, you can't touch us up here, and making people laugh almost by being this powerful woman that you would have seen the way that I am on stage is very, I'm untouchable, or that I'm better than you. And there was something so fun and empowering about that. And the jokes started to just come, this person, this persona, which almost like she's like an affirmation. And then, it's almost, I don't think, this is going to sound so bad probably if other comedians listen to it, but I don't think people give me enough credit at how hard it is to do that style of comedy. Because comedy's hard, but if you can fall on your sword and go, I don't like this about myself, people go, ha ha ha, or they go, I feel like I'm a bit of a loser, and people will laugh because it's almost like this, they feel, I don't want to say sorry for you, but it is an easier way to make people laugh. If you fall on your sword, you're like the clown, you're the jester.
Yeah.
But I'm doing the opposite, where I'm sort of trying to make people laugh by saying, I think I'm better than you. And what are you going to do about it?
They can laugh at you or with
well,
you.
with you. And even then, people still, sometimes it goes over their head. But I also think that the message of what I'm trying to say, I hope that it makes people think and go, oh God, I maybe I am being a bit sexist or a little bit, projecting my own insecurities onto this woman on stage who's talking about a certain thing. And if I can make people laugh while I do that, it is a nerve-wracking thing. And sometimes they don't laugh and you have to get over it. And I can't back down. I can't do my joke and then go, that's the thing about doing high status. I can't not make them laugh and then be like, actually, I'm just joking. I actually really like you guys and I don't think this about myself, because that is the beauty. Yeah, undercuts what I'm doing.
There's so much for the stage presence, and I learnt a lot from you on that, Rob.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like, I can laugh at someone talking about sharpening a pencil.
Yeah.
If they're doing it with confidence and
Totally.
There's just incredible examples of that.
That holding the space and just waiting for it, and then the punchline comes. Yeah,
and you know what, Gary? I'm still learning how to hold space. It's scary.
It is scary, but I think if I'm talking, if I'm doing a talk, I know if I'm holding the pace of it, that's when I'm at my best. If I'm going, I've got to get this done,
Totally.
Like, but when I say something and you're the best at it, Rob. You just you say something and you just sit with it, and the audience are there going,
yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Like,
he's the master. He's the master at it. Whereas
yeah.
I'm still learning how to do it. I also think that sometimes I have these moments where you're like watching yourself, on stage. You're like, I'm not in my body. I need to get back into my body. But that's, I think, also a bit of an acting thing. You've been doing it for so long as well.
I haven't heard anything after you guys said I was the master at it.
You want to flesh that out a little bit.
Let's just dig down into that a little further. No.
But no, I was going to say sorry. And then speaking of the master, we're going to talk about your show touring as well.
Yeah. Since you bring it up.
Yes, I must.
So yeah, gentle listener. So my last show is 4 True Stories. So my plugs are kind of funny. Basically, I've got a brand new show. It's called Virgin in a Knife Fight.
What? The name alone.
Yeah, I know.
It's called
you got me.
It's Virgin in a Knife Fight. It's 4 true stories. The first story is when I was a virgin in a knife fight. Now, all I will say about that is that it's fair to say I was underprepared. I was.
What kind of knife fight are we talking?
Well, virgins are rarely prepared for knife fights.
It's his first time.
That's right, man. If you were to line up all the virgins that have been in knife fights, I'd say most of us would have been underprepared. And the other 3 stories are not about that, because I then grow up. But it's a show about being underprepared. It's a show about being surprised, about being sideswiped. And then anyway, I tell 3 more stories. But as, of course, you get older, the things that surprise you are of a different nature. So that first surprise was an outward worldly thing coming at me, and like, oh, dearie me. As we get older, sometimes surprises come from within. Sometimes surprises come from something we've done to ourselves. And sometimes surprises come from a wacky, wacky world that just is a surprising place. Yeah. So I got 4 true stories. I can't wait to get around the country. I'm premiering in Perth, January 21. Then I've got 8 days at the State Theatre Centre there. I'll then do Albany and Mandurah as a little Western Australian tour. I'll come back to New South Wales, Brunswick Picture House, shout out to you. Coffs Jetty Theatre, shout out Avoca Beach. Avoca Beach Theatre, my hometown.
Wow.
That's all in March. Can't wait to do that. We're doing Canberra Comedy Festival, Newcastle Fringe. Then we're doing Adelaide Fringe. It's going to be mad. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait to see you out there.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And then after Adelaide Fringe, we've also got Melbourne Comedy Festival. All those tickets will be on sale by December 5th. There's a whole stack on sale right now. But all of this, and then we'll dump this and get back, put the focus back onto Jubes, because there's a stack more questions of yours that I want to get to. But it's then come out of these true stories I write for a storytelling night that my wife and I host on the Central Coast at Gosford the last Sunday of every month. And that's called Brave Words Live, True Stories Told Well. We invite guests to tell stories. My wife and I write a story, and it's simply this, a true story. Now, the stories don't have to be funny. They have to be true and told well. They're about 13 minutes long. So we're also releasing the podcast of that next week. So have a Google around of that. It's going to be called Brave Words, the podcast. And from that, what you'll get is stories from people that you might have heard of, some people with a profile. The engine room of this show will come from the incredible stories we've got from our community, from people that have done some writing classes with my wife, people that have just written a beautiful story and sent it to us. And these stories, when a community gets together and has the bravery to share stories and listen to stories, it's a closer community.
Yeah.
It's easier to imagine the hardship others are going through. Gary, I don't need to tell you this, man. There's a lot of people doing it tough, real tough.
I think there's a lot of power in telling stories, and that's why I like the forum of podcasts, like going in the media. And I've worked in all aspects or different aspects of media. So now, I like people ask what I do now, and I've sort of how do I describe what I do, or what do you do? And I like to think I'm a storyteller and letting people tell stories, and I love telling stories or hearing people's stories, and the stand-up comedy space, or even but the way you do it and the way you do it, it stimulates, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's really good to sit down and get a piece of that.
All right, let's get back into some things. Now, during the break, Elouise and I were talking about some of the procedures that occur as detective. And she said to me, man, this Gary, he seems like a really nice guy. I can't imagine him being a tough guy, a nasty guy.
No way.
And I said, well, you haven't seen him interrogate someone. So I thought we might jump into that space for the listener. How do we want to play this one?
Okay, an interrogation.
Yeah.
Okay. I reckon you have to be the suspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the suspect.
Okay. All right.
He's there's something about him.
There is something. Well,
He's giving I mean, that Daily Mail article.
Yeah, stop it. Yeah,
No,
I saw that article, Rob. I didn't bring it to your attention because I wanted to protect you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Shane Jacobson didn't want to protect me. He sent it straight to me. Yeah. Along with the message, mate, you should see what they've written about me specifically over the years.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, anyway.
Okay, so let's a hypothetical. Rob's the suspect. Okay, we've just talked about your two shows.
Yeah.
You were both putting on a show at, let's say, Enmore Theatre.
Terrific.
Yes,
That's a
wow,
nice
that'd
step
be
up.
great.
Beautiful. Yeah, listen to us.
Hell
Immediately,
yeah.
1,200 seats. Did we sell out?
Sell out.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
On a Saturday night, Rob's driving along and he gets stopped by a uniform police. And they get him out, search his car, and they find a bag of cannabis, let's say. So that's the crime that we're dealing with. Not a huge crime.
No.
But, yeah, it's a crime. I'll be the local detective sergeant.
Okay.
You can be the detective senior constable. So,
Wow, love this for me.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
How long's she been on the job for?
She got promoted very early into detectives. She's probably detective senior constable at least 5 or 6 years.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sassy.
Yes.
Get ready.
And I'm going.
I'll
and
do
that's all right.
Rob, if I make a run for it,
Rob,
you can get the gun back.
Rob, you're
Sorry.
the
Oh, that's right. I'm the
You're the
offender.
offender, you're
Have
the
I been
offender.
caught yet?
Getting character,
Have
getting
I been,
character.
so tell me where I am. Am I cuffed?
just let me get the book out first.
Am I cuffed?
Not yet.
Sir, please remain in your vehicle.
Yeah, that's good.
Is that good?
No, but you're not there yet.
Oh,
We've
sorry.
been called out. Uniform police have stopped Rob.
That's right. You're practicing your lines on the way there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got my blazer on.
I've rung you, and you've said there's bloke. They found some drugs in his car. He's been arrested. Uniform blokes are too busy to deal with it, so we need to. We've been
God,
called
those
out.
uniform blokes, they're always too bloody busy, aren't they? This is my character. What is this?
Just getting into just
Is that
Newtown King Street.
Yeah. Okay.
That is the... Okay, wow, this is really
Rob.
good character work.
Okay. So, what we do, I get called out, and we're on the way to Newtown Police Station.
Oh,
You're at Newtown.
I'm
Police
at
Station.
Newtown
You're
Police
there.
Station.
You've been arrested.
Elouise Eftos, Gary Jubelin, we're all on.
So,
Okay.
what we do, we've got Rob Carlton, and everyone's got a weakness.
Yeah.
And that's what I think before I go into an interview room. What's their weakness? And I look at Rob and I'm saying, he's not a hard ass, is he? Like, he's not, you know.
No,
he's a bit of,
there's something.
You know what we call them in the cops, like soft head.
That's what we call them.
Bit of a soft head. But what's his weakness?
Is that really what we call them?
That's what we call them.
That is what you call them.
Yeah, that's what we call you.
You animals.
Yeah.
Soft head. So there's two ways of approaching Rob. Now, we've got to find his weakness. Looking at his background, because they've printed out his background, that he was an actor and all that sort of stuff. So, he's been reasonably successful.
Yeah, okay. I guess.
Okay. I'll try it first. Like, we work out different ways of breaking this person and see what he's got.
I don't think I've got a weakness, so I think you're stuffed.
I come into the interview room first, and Rob Carlton.
Yeah. Mate, honestly, I don't know why they've. Mate, I was just driving along King Street. This is a waste of time. Sure, you got more important
Rob
things.
Carlton. I was just asking, is that your name?
Sorry, yes.
Yeah, Rob Carlton.
And
I'm Detective Sergeant Gary Jubelin. Now, I've been called out by the uniformed police. Your car has been pulled over in King Street. In search of the car found a bag of cannabis.
Like I said to them at this, honestly, mate, no idea.
No idea?
No idea.
Just stop there for a moment. So you're just
giggling.
coming in.
She's giggling.
Hold on, I'm walking in.
You're just coming into You've arrived. Take a seat.
Oh, Jesus, this is
concentrate, Rob. So we're in the interview room. I introduce you now. This is Detective Senior Constable Elouise.
Detective Senior Constable Eftos. Hello, Mr. Carlton.
Okay,
Hello.
so I'm the experienced detective. We've got him in the room now. We're out of the room. I'm going to say we're going to have to exploit his weaknesses. Everyone's got a weakness. I'm thinking this soft head.
Yeah.
That's his vanity.
God, he is a soft head, isn't he? He looks pretty vain.
Yeah. I
Something
think he's
about him.
Bit of a wanker. Actually.
Yeah,
but
those actors all are, aren't they? They're all a bit wanky.
Let me have a chop at him first.
No, please, no. Absolutely.
If it doesn't work, I reckon the other thing is he'd be susceptible to your approach.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. What would I call you? Do I say constable?
You call me detective.
Yes, detective.
Sergeant.
Sergeant. Yeah, beautiful.
You saw him on that white Lotus, didn't you?
What a creep!
Yeah, that's what.
What a creep he was in that.
Yeah.
No worries, Sergeant. Let's get in there.
Okay. All right, Rob Carlton.
Yeah.
You're the actor, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
mate.
right. I've seen you in so many different shows.
Oh,
incredible!
Yeah. What was your favourite?
Oh, when you played Kerry Packer on Paper Giants.
Thanks, mate. Look,
Didn't.
Yeah, look, obviously a real honour to be playing a business icon.
You won a Logie for that, didn't you?
Yeah, mate, I did. I got nominated for a few other ones as well. Yep.
Anyway,
congratulations.
So you're getting a sense that he's bought into it, but
really
now I'm going to flip it on him a little bit. Yeah.
So it was a tough role, that Kerry Packer.
Sorry, you realise what you're here for?
Yeah, mate, some plod down there has just gotten all out of hand.
That was Senior Constable Bowden. He's been in the police for 10 years. You're referring to the police officer that arrested him?
Yeah, actually, he was a good bloke, now you mention it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was all right.
He had his police dog Spike.
Yeah, those dogs were certainly showing interest.
Anyway, let's get back to it. The cannabis in your car, is that yours?
No, absolutely not. Never seen it before in my life.
Is that your car that you're driving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't steal the car, detective.
You've got a set of keys to the car?
Yep.
You realise where the car's been stopped at the moment. We're doing a forensic examination on it. The car clearly hasn't been broken into it. So who else has access to the vehicle? If that bag of cannabis is not yours, who else has access to the cannabis?
Obviously, my wife and kids.
Okay, so your wife and kids drive the car. Is that what you're saying?
They do.
Okay, and you're telling me that cannabis is not theirs?
Definitely not theirs. No, of course
and not yours?
Not mine either.
Okay.
I don't know how it got there.
Well, Mr. Carlton, this is how we're going to play this, okay? I'm going to send uniformed police around to your house at the moment, and we're going to wake up your wife and inform her that you're under arrest. We'll also... How old are your boys?
They're 21, mate. They're
Okay,
21,
well, they're adults
They're
in the
good
eye of the
boys,
laws.
mate. They're good boys.
There's only 4 people who've got access to the vehicle.
Yeah.
There's a bag of cannabis in there.
Yeah.
You're telling me
Yeah.
that cannabis is not yours.
That's right.
I don't care if I'm charging you, your wife, or either of your 2 sons, but clearly someone owns the cannabis.
So I don't think you're going to need to bring her in at this point. I'm sorry, no. I know we'd set it up that she was
No,
going
but
to go.
I'm here, but I'm-
But
look,
I
but
did,
I'm-
like, once
All right.
you'd got to dipping my wife and child in,
Mr. Carlton, this is not funny, Mr. Carlton.
Spike was looking at me like,
I am a real detective, Mr. Carlton, and I actually resent the fact that you
Go, girl.
think. I resent the fact that you think I shouldn't be here.
no, I was. I
No,
did. That's not what I said.
That is what
I said.
That is what he
Why
said,
did
isn't it?
you assume I was a senior person and she was a junior person?
That's actually quite sexist of you, Mr. Carlton.
No, because I just
Was
thought
playing
the
Kerry
senior
Packer a bit of a method acting sort of a role for you?
Yeah, look, thanks for mentioning. I did actually get right into it.
Well, I would like to know, is there sort of a magical marijuana fairy that is putting this cannabis in your car? Because who would be putting it into your car? Should we be calling your sons, your wife
This is
at this hour?
this is awful.
Everyone's vulnerable.
Everyone's
Vulnerable.
Now you could approach this with. I reckon. I can't do what you could do, but I reckon if you lean.
Was that good though? Was that like a bit too much though? A bit colourful.
Yeah, but if you lean in the Rob, we can make this go away, Rob. You just
Oh,
gotta
that's
tell,
nice.
You just got to tell the truth. Just tell the truth. You'll be charged. You're probably wondering what's going to happen. I can't promise you bail. That's out of my control. But I would imagine, in my experience, you probably would get bail and you'll be home with your wife and kids.
Oh,
later on
see-
today.
See, that's nice.
Honestly,
that's
that's
good
like
cop.
a warm bath.
Let's assume he's a bloke, the character he played on White Lotus. I think
Okay.
you just come in and.
Oh yeah. If I was to do that one, so I'd
That's
just be
so
okay. So let's
silly.
do it that. We'll just do a
Okay.
quick. So you interview me like you just did, and try and use my wife and kids, and I'll be that guy.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
cute.
that's
This is okay. I'm
Yeah.
gonna really try not to laugh.
Yeah.
My face already.
Stop it,
Sorry,
come
no,
on.
stop.
Actor.
Come on, acting. Focus.
Rob, we can make this problem go away.
I don't care. It's not a problem for me. It can go or it can stay.
You don't care. Well, I've already explained to you. The cannabis is in your car.
Yeah.
We've had a forensic examination on your vehicle. There's no signs.
I'm not the
of-
only person that can get into the car.
That's your wife
Yeah,
and 2 children.
that's right.
Are you saying that it's not yours? So
It's not mine.
so you're happy for me to send police around to your home now and speak to your wife and your 2 children?
Well, I mean, if it's her pot, we better get to the bottom of it.
Okay, if that's the way you want to play it.
Mr. Carlton, look, we've got a lot. We'd like to go home ourselves.
I'd like to
You're
go
really
home too.
okay.
Is that the same spot?
Okay, absolutely not. This is a bit much, Mr. Carlton. I resent the fact that you would pin your cannabis
How long's she been your
onto-
partner for?
Okay,
None of your business.
none of
just
your
answer-
business. Okay,
Answer the question.
answer the questions, mate. Would you say mate? I don't know if you can say that.
No.
I'm nailing
No.
it. Yeah, it's hard to interview fuckwits. Tell me
No,
that.
But it
No,
is.
no.
I was going to say that would
That's
be
the
hard.
question. Is it
Okay.
harder to
No.
is it harder
Yeah.
to interview people with no sense of
fuckwits,
style?
The moment you start taking control, I cut it. That's like, and that's not the way it would play out. You
No,
wouldn't
no,
have,
no.
You wouldn't have a smart ass.
No,
just answer.
definitely not. So what do you mean you'd cut it? As in,
You would say, I don't know whose it is. And if I've read you right, that you're not going to talk, I go,
Yep.
okay, so you're telling me you're not prepared to be interviewed.
oh, I see. Yeah, no, not
Oh.
prepared to be interviewed.
Okay, that's fine. I'll see you. And walk out.
And that's you're gone.
And I've gone. And that's,
Wow.
that leaves you guessing. And then we'll be doing the forensic examinations, fingerprints, DNA that we find on the cannabis.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And we charge you anyway. But
Wow,
I
that's
think I think
interesting.
in the interview room you can set the tone, whether it's you keep it light because that might be the best way. You try to make that connection, or you can intimidate through your professionalism. But what you never let them do, I think, is see that they get you rattled.
Yeah, okay.
You own the interview room.
Yes.
You've got to control the interview room. If you come in and it looks like they're getting the better of you, you cut it. The moment you see if I'm rattled, so no matter what you say, it's poker face and not going to give you anything. I'll give you emotion if I think it's going to help, like exploiting your vanities and saying you're great.
Yeah,
you're
that's
late.
the third time you've said that.
You told me I had to say it 4, otherwise you weren't coming on the
Oh,
podcast.
it's just the vanity stuff. I mean, I know it's there, but you know.
Obsessed.
But
Okay,
the
amazing.
interview
I want
room.
to see what would happen if I got interrogated by. I wonder if I could handle it.
People.
Okay, let's do that.
Should I? I'll go this side.
Should we
Okay.
do a quick? Let's do a quick.
Okay.
I just want to see if I could
Yep.
handle it.
Okay.
Because as me, I guess, like not a character.
What crime have we got? Stalking Rob Carlton.
Okay, that works for
I
my
love
vanity.
this character.
That works for my vanity.
I just really like,
Stop
Carrie
it.
Packer.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
what. All right, so that's what she's done. I like
I
that.
love.
I'm gonna,
This is so silly.
This has
So-
gone straight on my resume.
So what have we got here? Elouise Eftos, stand-up comedian, dancer, actress.
He's good.
Okay, you, her solicitor.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Elouise, you're probably wondering what you're doing in the police station.
Yes.
Yeah. You're aware that an AVO order was taken out against you by Mr. Robert Carlton.
Oh, I'm not sure why. We're friends.
You can say yes, you were aware of that.
Sorry.
Look, you're welcome. You're welcome to be here, solicitor. But please, this is an interview with your client and myself, and please don't interfere with the interview.
All right.
Oh, I was not aware. I thought that Mr. Carlton and I were friends.
No, well, Mr. Carlton's given us a detailed, in fact, a 20-page statement here talking about the beautiful relationship you had.
I'm screaming at this. Sorry.
And that you, in his mind, and I'm just going through the statement here, in his mind that you're going to spend the rest of your lives together and live happily ever after.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yes, I thought.
And then he left you, and you've been stalking him ever since.
Stalking is a very strong word.
Well,
Detective,
let's break it down. Standing out the front of his house, knocking on his front door in the middle of the night, crying, "I need you, I need you."
you can't. I'm
can't get corpsey.
I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to stop it there. I've got to say,
that feels like that is so.
that was psychological manipulation, is what he was doing.
That's good
there.
though. It's like very good to like the
Just-
way the technique of going and then me going, oh, like I would because obviously you're not going to admit that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Sorry, I just wanted to.
No, it's
blame you.
great.
Sorry,
It was
the opportunity.
fun.
I loved it. I loved the way you set it up, and
Yeah.
then
Very
all of a
good.
sudden I was a nice guy. Then I was a dog and an animal. She was lovely. Then she was a
Then
psycho.
I was a psycho.
What
This
is wrong
we've
with
got a
your
bit of-
head,
We've
Gary?
got range. That's because he's working with actors. We've got range. We've got range.
Mate,
We've got range.
Okay, I'm going to jump back into another question.
Oh yes, we've got so
here.
many questions.
From your podcast, do you prefer interviewing the cops or the crims?
Oh yeah.
That's interesting. The police, sometimes I like to fall back into the world of policing because it's something that I was a part of for a very long time. But I know a lot of cops, so for a new experience, speaking to the criminals, it's quite interesting because I sit opposite people that I never thought I'd get a chance to sit opposite and have conversations with them. And these people that, we basically arch enemies for our whole career. And now I can sit down and we find common ground, and I quite enjoy it. But diversity, I think with a podcast, and I know you laugh when I say 2 hours a week is a lot of work.
No, it is.
But
It's exhausting.
with the diversity, I think with a podcast, we've done over 500 episodes now, and you've got to mix up the guests. I can't, if I spoke to just all cops the whole time, I'd get bored with it. If I spoke to crooks, I'd get bored with it. So diversity is the thing that I enjoy.
I love that.
I saw a post the other day. It was a super tough, rough-looking guy. He used to be a sergeant at arms with a major bikie gang. Doing that thing where he was standing in front of me and he was just saying, and he was talking a million miles an hour, and he's like, man, this happened and this happened. I just want everyone to know that this is no good and that doesn't play out the way they know my life and all of that.
Yeah.
And I was so pleased for this fella.
Yeah.
Right, that was alive.
Yeah.
Right, because that's not always a given in that line
Yeah.
of work.
True.
And that then he was like, you know what? I made a stack of bad choices, and now I'm trying to make them better. How do we help a guy like that?
Yeah.
Get try and get that information to the younger people that are having a tough time, because a lot of people like, in your experience, do most people realise at some point that being that criminal, or there's a violence to the way you're making your money? Do most people figure it out that it's not the way to go? Or not?
There's usually there's some of the career criminals or inherently bad that are not going to change, but that's a small percentage. The psychos are the ones that need to be taken off the streets. Probably 10% of the criminal world. There's a lot that will choose a life of crime because they don't see it as a bad thing. That's their career. I put that at sort of 20 or 30% of the type of criminals. Then you've got that roughly 60-70% of people that have made mistakes. Circumstances have steered them down a path. They've made mistakes. They're the ones that I think we could change, and I think good role models. I love the stories of redemption with criminals that have turned their life around, and I think that messaging needs to get out to the younger men or younger boys and girls that this isn't the way to go. This isn't the life you want to live. Look, this is what I did. I spent 20 years locked up. That's not what you want to do. So I think that messaging needs to get out. That's where we can make the difference. Jails, I did that Breaking Badness series where I went into the maximum security prison, and that was a real eye-opener, and they were treating maximum security prisoners with more, giving them more sense of responsibility, allowing them to integrate back into society, because that to reduce recidivism rate. I reckon that should be the benchmark for the way prisons are run. It was such a healthy environment in that the prisoners were prepared or being prepared to come back out and integrate into society. And it's not getting soft on prisoners. They had to work. I think it was 6 hours a day and then study 6 hours a day, and then they get 1 day off a week. But it built self-esteem. They all lived in a dorm, like 25 maximum prisoners in a dorm, all living in there. I thought it would be a bloodbath, but they realised this is their chance to turn their life around. And I met quite a few impressive people in prison, and some have reached out to me since they've been out of prison, and I'm catching up with them, and I like what they're doing.
Yeah, wow, amazing. So I'm going to ask a question here from Chad. What's the worst case you have dealt with in your career as a homicide detective? I was going to say, is there probably a list?
There's a list. Like any time a life has been taken, it's horrendous, and the impact it has. There's a ripple effect with homicide. So one person is killed, but the amount of lives that are destroyed following on from that. Me personally, ones that I do a lot of, I call them short-term homicides, where you get called out, you're the on-call team, you investigate it, you mightn't be involved in it for a very long time. So the ones that stick with me personally are the ones that I've been caught up with for a long time. Obviously, the Barraville one, people have listened to the podcast, the 3 Aboriginal children, Colleen, Evelyn and Clinton, that were murdered. The case that cost me my career, the William Tyrrell case, I think it's disgraceful what's happened. I ran it for 4 years. It's now been going for 5 or 6 years since, and we've still got no answers.
In fact, Brooksy Smith, one of your listeners, wants to know, do you still lose sleep over that matter?
Yeah.
It's too dramatic to say I toss and turn. It weighs heavily on my mind. I think lives have been damaged and destroyed, and we still haven't got answers. And I say it every time I have an opportunity to say it publicly. I think there should be an inquiry about the William Tyrrell matter, whether that's a parliamentary inquiry or a public inquiry, and let's find the truth out about what's happened on that investigation, because I certainly don't feel comfortable with what I've seen go on for the past 6 years.
Yeah.
All right. Another question.
I was going to say, there's a few, even these ones.
There's loads and loads.
There's so many good questions.
That's
but
all right. Let's lead with the question.
Okay, sorry. This is the one because I think this is quite interesting. Because God, it would be hard not to feel personally attached to some of these cases. But how do you get over it when you know, this is from Romper, how do you get over it when you know someone is guilty of murder, is not convicted at trial? Is that really hard?
Yeah, and it happens. I get over it personally if I think myself and my team, whenever I'm saying you're working in a team in homicide, if we've done everything that can be done, then you've got to accept the decision. Otherwise, it would destroy you. And people, mentors that I looked up to, taught me that you can't carry the weight of the result of the court matters.
Yes.
The only thing you can control is doing everything that you can. So you can let it go. You still think about it, and it can piss you off. I know people that are involved in murders that are walking the street. I don't like it, but that's the system we've got, and you've got to accept it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I've got a question around your interview guests, right? So it's extraordinary what you've done with regards to trying to bridge that gap between the cops and the crims, if you want to put it like that. And certainly looking at that salvation story, the redemption story that you really like. I think we can also agree, and only a naive child wouldn't believe this, is that a lot of the people in this space are sociopathic, super bright, very manipulative. Have you ever gone into an interview, felt in the moment that it had been going well, that this person's turned a new leaf, they've got a new direction that is society focused, and then come away from that and suddenly felt the slick, filthy slide of yuck on you as you've fallen under the spell of a sociopath? Yeah,
I'd like to think that as a police officer, as long as I was and doing the type of work I was, I had a good radar for that. I'm out of the police now, and it's a different dynamics when I'm sitting opposite someone and talking. In terms of guests, there was one on that I had doubts about, just had a bad energy. And I've had murderers on and all sorts of things. I can read people. And there was one person that I thought had a bad energy. You wouldn't have listened to the podcast because we didn't play it. I recorded it, but didn't.
So that's you've got the full dump button. And so that was just an instinct, because there are a lot of questions here from your listeners.
Yeah.
What's instinct? What's procedure?
Yeah.
Well, that was instinct and just a sense of it. Okay, that mightn't be the real story of redemption I'm looking for here. And look, it's an easy mark. I'm looking for interesting people. They reach out, come on here,
and often these people are very, very interesting.
I've got the ex-cop and talking there. He's standing beside me saying, "Yeah, well done." I look at that, but the other thing, and I think we've got to understand this with podcast world. I let people tell their stories. The listeners can form their views.
Yes.
Like I'm not the gatekeeper here of do I let this person? I always say if I invite a guest on, I'm not going to intentionally do you any harm. So that's my starting point. So don't bring them in and set them up and beat up on someone and rip them apart while we've got the cameras on. But I also give the audience the respect enough. They don't like all the guests I've got on, and sometimes I mightn't like the guest, but I will be polite and I will provide a platform for the guests to tell their story and let the audience form the view. That's I think that's where we lack in media, because there's such a narrative that can be driven by some forms of media, whereas in the podcast world, you've listened to us for 2 hours. You form your own view. I'm not going to vouch for the person. You decide whether you like them or not like them. I think that's the safest way.
Yeah,
totally.
Wow, that's I always that notion. I guess as a character actor, I'm super drawn to that notion of people that are very good at presenting falsity and coming across. And and there are some of the look at someone like Jeffrey Epstein. For example, I mean, he the world was his oyster for a long, long time, and that guy was a monster for all of it.
Yeah, right? I look, and people can put up that facade and present a certain way. I think there's people that are greatly respected because of the position they hold that are absolute creeps and dropkicks. But I tend to. I don't look at the title or the position. I look at the person, and one thing that's I've learnt since I've been out of the cops, because I don't hang around with cops now. The people I'm speaking to, and there might have been some of the people, lots of people have done time in prison or whatever, but I can tell the character of the person. And I find some people that they might have paid their debt to society, but I rate them in terms of ethics and morals higher than some of the people I work with in the police. And I don't want to come across as shitbagging police. I like the police. There's some great cops in there. But like every walk of life, there's good ones and there's bad ones.
Totally.
I'd be fascinated, and I was thinking about this when I was out in the surf the other day. I've got no idea why. I probably need to speak to someone about that. But the reason what I was thinking was, I'd be very, very interested in knowing what the average percentage of having a conviction in the general public, does it go up for police officers and ex-police officers? So if you've been part of the police, is that part of our society, does it have a higher criminal rate? So I don't know many cops, but the ones I do, most of them have records.
What's that about? What's that about?
Because then I was thinking about corruption. Inside the force. I was thinking about, are there groups of criminals right now going, okay, let's get son 1 and cousin 4 to join the force so that we've got sleepers 20. Do you think that goes on?
Look, it might. There might be the odd, and I think in history, not but recent history, there's been cases where someone's been checking something for their friend or their cousins or their family, so that might go on. I think with cops, and I haven't really, I don't think there's a higher percentage, but I think cops, you've got a certain type of character. They might be some risk takers that might skew the statistics on criminal charges. I'm thinking of, I know a few cops that have been criminally charged, and some of them are for legitimately bad offences. When they leave, there's a lot of people that resent their time in the police. And it's funny, and I think power corrupts, and I think power that you have in the cops, a lot of people leave the cops and resent authority. Like they're very anti, don't you tell me what to do.
Yeah,
because
very much
they've
so.
had that power. Even when you're in the cops, there was, and I identified it in myself. If someone's telling you, a security guard telling you, and it might be something, can we just check your bag? You're thinking, and you wouldn't react, but your mind's ticking over. What you ask? I'm a cop. Why are you asking me? And I could imagine saying that out aloud, not thinking it and being such a dickhead. If you did. So I think that power sort of it has the potential to corrupt.
Oh, I think
some actors do that.
You got it.
Some actors do that. They'll be like, "Do you know who I am?"
Well, very much so. And again, as you get,
Yeah.
and this is this really, really interesting thing that happens in the human body. As you get older, there's certain things, we've done a great thing. It's made us feel good. Our pride has increased, and that might be the very thing that makes us behave badly the next day. Because it alters our sense of self, our sense of entitlement, and all of those things. So, as an underline on that conversation, to all the cops out there listening, man, I completely honour what it is to serve the community. I respect and understand that at 3 o'clock in the night, when some poor kid has decided to end it, they're the ones. It's the cops that are ones that are going to start knocking on doors and talking to parents. So with every part of that job, there comes a tough bit that I wouldn't want to do. And I don't know how I'd go emotionally managing that bucket filling every day.
It's fun. I was speaking to a Scotland Yard detective, a high-profile Scotland Yard detective on this, and had done a lot of homicides and all that. And he said, I asked him that question, like, how did it affect you? And he said, it's funny, when I left the cops, I started to become more emotional. When I was in the cops, I didn't, and that resonated with me.
Wow.
Like when I was the hard-ass homicide detective, I did not have time to wallow in the emotions and that. And you would have it, but you would just move on because you're on to the next thing. When I step away now, like I'm looking back, and some of it sort of, oh Jesus, that was heavy, and some things become more emotional because I think you allow yourself to release that emotion, whereas in the cops, you couldn't be this blubbering mess because you had to get up and get to the job the next day or whatever. So
Wow.
Well, that's probably a bit of a point to lift off. We think of all the people and what it takes, that emotional strength and that courage to keep getting up, to pick yourself up, to take those hits. And that's what life's about, isn't it? Constantly taking these, the good and the bad, and it affects us in certain ways. But one thing we know for sure, the sun will rise. And we'll either be people that can smile at others or not smile at others. And my hope is that we, as a society, leaning towards more people that have the enough bandwidth to smile at a stranger.
Well, I think, with the way the world is, like if we're too judgmental, and the world's like, I had to learn something or upskill on the AI because I was doing a talk at the convention centre with someone that was an expert on it, and I've been falling down the rabbit hole there. The world is going to change. We need people to be able to, resilient people. We need people to be able to communicate, and that's what just getting back, and this is sort of reflection on the year because it's a Christmas special for the podcast. the people that have come on the journey with me, like we get, there's been over 42 million downloads now, so
Wow.
that's a hell of a lot on the podcast. But I think they get where I'm coming from with this, in that we're hearing the guest story, we're forming views. Sometimes we mightn't agree with everything you say, but we'll take a little bit of that or a little bit from me, and I think it makes it a better place. But yeah.
Yeah, and then speaking of better places, Elouise Eftos, what is your favourite Christmas gift to either receive or give, so that we can offer our listeners, for people like me that panic like hell?
I know,
when
I'm
it
going.
comes to Christmas
This is,
time?
oh my gosh, this is a tough one. I feel like people are doing more of the experience thing, and I think that's quite nice. Instead of rushing around going, oh, just get a candle or just get a pair of boxes or whatever. I think sometimes a nice little voucher for a movie or a dinner
Or a show.
Or a show.
Stop.
I was
That's
going to
the
say,
dirtiest
that's the
segue.
best segue that I've ever, but I love it. Rob Carlton's good, but even then I'm
The
going.
Eye Catch Killers Christmas special, if you want a great gift, where do they look?
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
there we
you
go. Well, I was going to say, come
Well,
to.
we don't know the name of your show next year.
Well, it might be the working title's Aphrodite, so it might still be that. We'll see.
Fine.
But you can find my on my Instagram. I have everything on there. So it's Weezer Squeezer is my Instagram handle. WeezaSqueeza, and I post everything on there, all my
sure
shows
do.
and all the links and everything. Yeah.
You get on it. It's a great follow. That's a
Yeah,
great
so that's
follow.
me. And you, Rob, what
yeah,
about you?
definitely. So all my tickets will be on sale by December 5. There's a whole stack on right now. The reason I'm really excited to offer this up as a Christmas present, I've got all my ticketing prices have $25 for under 25s.
That's
So
great.
I've got adult pricing for normal festival pricing for the main tickets, but $25 for under 25s for two reasons. One, I want more people in their early to mid 20s getting out, coming to see my show, because I cover a lot of stuff that I think is really great for those mid 20s, and honestly, I bury myself in my 20s, man, and so I want to share that so that you, at least younger people, don't have to bury yourselves. But the other reason is because families can come to this show together. I want, if you're a parent out there and you've got a kid that's between 25 and 15, and you're feeling you want to have more conversations or different conversations, if you were to come to my show with your child or your younger friends, then my stories will generate conversations for you, because
Love that.
I'm going to tell you things that you're going to go, oh God, really? And in your heart of hearts, you're going to know, yeah, I did something like that too. So I'll bring it up.
Well,
You guys can chat about it.
if you've
Love
seen
that.
the show, I never thought I'd be laughing about incest, but
I know, right?
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
That was
But
last.
he's
yeah.
God is good. He can make
I
anything
didn't
funny.
think anyone could make that
And-
that
Wild.
claim.
And I'm going to finish up, Gary, my friend, my dear friend. Christmas for Gary Jubelin. What does Christmas for Jubes look like in 2025? You've been through such an extraordinary year, extraordinary 5 years. Tell me about Christmas for you this year, mate.
You might come as a shock, but I'm not a real Christmas type person, and I think that was
It's because you look like a bauble.
Roasted.
No, but I just like to have a break. My kids are living all over the place.
Yeah.
I think we're catching up, so I'm going to get some time with them. Maybe a quick overseas trip. I've got a fairly busy year next year.
Oh, you've got another retreat. So Gary goes on these
Oh,
amazing
beautiful.
retreats. Well,
Yeah.
he does his Qigong.
Qigong.
nice.
He does his Qigong meditations. He
What
does his
the-
hyperbaric chase and
See, this is why he's looking,
You got
relaxed.
it.
I'm going, that's why.
That's why he looks
Yeah,
20
there we
years
go.
younger
Yes,
than he is.
I love
So,
that.
yeah, any specific place
No,
overseas?
not at this stage. Just sorting a couple of things out. But life's pretty good for me at the moment. Rob, I know you've seen me at my highs and you've seen me at my lows.
Yeah, wow.
Normally it's got to do with relationships and work and stuff like
It's
that.
got a bit
Totally.
going on.
But it's in a pretty good space at the moment. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Christmas
Oh,
very
you're
much.
an
Beautiful.
absolute
And
beauty.
I hope you two have a great Christmas, and thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks
I
for
Catch
having
Killers.
Elouise,
me.
thanks so
That's
much.
so lovely. It's so great to chat.
And on behalf of the listeners, Jubes, mate, thank you. Thank
All right.
you for all the work you do and the conversations you bring and just getting up every day. I did make a joke about working for 2 hours a week. I know how hard you work. I can't tell you how much I respect the work that you put in, the reading that you do, and I know that your
Stop
listeners.
grovelling
No,
now,
mate.
Rob.
I know,
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, he's
I'm being
grovelling because when the
serious,
camera's
mate.
off, he's in trouble.
I'm being serious. I just know the world's richer for you in it, my mate.
Yeah,
Happy
well,
Christmas.
here, mutual admiration. You've helped me a lot during tough times, and we've had a lot of fun doing it. So it's great, and thanks for introducing
This is
Elouise
so
into the
beautiful,
thing.
but I love
Yeah.
this as well, this beautiful bromance.
Yeah.
I'm going, this is how I love to see men talk like this about each other, and I hope that more of you, all the listeners, are doing that for them and their friends as well. That's so lovely, guys.
Cool. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks for having
All right.
us.
Thank you, guys.
See
Cheers.
ya.